tanto podría llegar hasta acá.
Hemos llegado.
Desde que se le dijo igual.
Breakfast with Koalas. Oh my god.
La Megan Marco del Harry. Ah, se ve. Oye, parece de verdad. O sea, se nota esa fácil.
So this is Kofi. Kofi is a Goodfellows tree kangaroo. So he's a boy. He's bachelor, so he lives in here by himself. This is how they live in the wild. So they are solitary palm oil plantations. And so what we always sort of recommend is if you are shopping things like soaps or detergents and things like that, often have palm oil in them. And the reason the palm oil is used is because it's actually the most efficient way to grow oil. So per training with him, so you'll find a pattern as we move through the zoo is that training is a really, really high priority for our team. Got to get my tail ready. Yes. So you can see that box there that's on that platform. So that's Kofi's crate. So he's actually trained, his keepers will come and they give him the cue and he pops himself into his crate and that's where he has his breakfast. Now, Tasmanian devils are one of the most amazing and interesting things that we have in Australia. Look at them running around. They're so funny looking. They are a marsupial. So to be a marsupial, it means that being so for a Tasmanian devil, what that means is that they give birth to between 20 and 40. These guys are another endangered species, and they've had a number of threats over the years. So about 500 years, well, we have evidence that Tasmanian devils have existed on the mainland uprising until European settlement. And in that time, we had so many devils at the time, it just wiped through their population. Its growth has now slowed down, but that's mostly due to high under molecular. We've got Kevin, our brown snake. And then we have one of our tiger snakes on display over here as well. So these are all venomous snakes that are locally occurring. So these are the kinds of snakes. And that's how they hunt for their food. So, these snakes are dangerous, but if he wakes up, he wakes up. There was that no movie, this 40 kilo lump of an animal when he doesn't want to. But if he does wake up, basically she's going to ask him to enter into that area that she came from. And she's going to ask him to go to that area behind his neck. And then we have the southern hairy nose and the northern hairy nose. Southern hairy nose is an endangered species, and the northern here with us at about 6 months of age, and he lived with one of our keepers for a long time till he was big enough to come and live in here. So he's been with us. Like 70 kilos, they're like, taller than me. Boys are smaller, and he's even small for a boy. But he's really beautiful. He's lived with us for about 15 years now. He was one of the first residents here at Wildlife when we opened. And cats raised in the wild are amazing. They are really, really important to the ecosystem. But what one of our keepers, he's working in here. So you've got Martin, the board monitor, who is, like every monitor, absolutely obsessed with food. See them? They're amazing. Their colours are like stunning. They're found up in the Daintree rainforest. They feed on pandanus, which is what these big leaves are. Our keepers here, like I mentioned earlier, we do a lot of training with all of our different animals. So all of these ladies are trained, they step onto scales every week and have their weight taken. Animals in Australia that we can very confidently say they are not endangered. So there are, this bit's not couch anymore, but following her around. Very Now, very cool. This is Spencer's monitor. So these guys are a monitor species that's found in like Central Australia. There are lots of different monitor species. So we saw so we don't have the exact age for these guys, but we can base it a little bit on their size as well. So we know that they're completely mature adults and in excess of about 15 years. So these guys are actually acting as a wonderful ambassador for freshwater crocodiles at the zoo with us. But maybe in the future we'll look at the
We're finally deciding on 3 names for our freshwater crocodiles. The next time we pop down to the lot as passengers in Darling Harbour, and we'll stop by our crocodile billabong and come meet Denali, Koalas and Cariños. Saltwater crocodile and freshwater crocodile here with me now, and they are absolute ancient predators. They're excellent at what they do, and definitely worth bragging about. So of course working with crocodiles does seem like a little bit of a scary job, but these guys aren't really all that dangerous to humans whatsoever. They're a little bit more on the shy side. They do like to eat small items like birds and fish, versus our large saltwater crocodiles that might take down something like a wallaby. So we don't have the exact age for these guys, but we can base it a little bit on their size as well. So we know that they're completely mature adults and in excess of about 15 years. So these guys are actually acting as a wonderful ambassador for freshwater.
And then we have monotremes, and they are mammals that lay eggs. So there's not many of them. Platypus and echidna are actually the only monotremes. So despite how different they look, they're actually the closest relatives to each other. Now, when they are territorial in the wild, so that's what they have those spurs for. It is toxic to humans. We don't have a recorded case where somebody has died from being up and down the east coast. There's heaps we don't know about them. They're actually currently listed as like not threatened, but most conservation. His name is Pop, so you can find it. Your breakfast is ready, so grab a plate, grab a coffee, have a seat. When you're ready, head over. I'll be here. I'm going to go get the.
Estamos desayunando y se supone que el koala está en ese arbolito que está ahí. Está atrás, así que no se ve, pero ahí está.